But while I was writing on her own ground, I really began to realize that Alelia Walker needed her own story. And we're now at the centennial of the Harlem Renaissance, an interesting, amazing time of flowering of culture, music, art, and I think we're in another renaissance at the moment.
Yeah. Anything surprising or moving to you that you discovered while researching your great grandmother's life?
She has really, in some ways, been kind of caricatured, and really overshadowed by her mother. And that they had a, very complicated mother-daughter relationship. I try to explore that. But in the 1920s, after Madam Walker died, Alelia Walker really came into her own. She had inherited her mother's homes and her business, and she loved music just as her mother did. And really, her homes became the center piece for a lot of the best parties of the 1920s, where artists and writers and musicians and actors gathered, and they met African American socialites and African diplomats and European royals. So it was a very unusual and a very exciting scene that she created.
Talk about that and how she influenced the Harlem Renaissance, not just as you say, as a hostess, but really, maybe as a cultural force.
I guess she would be what we would now call an influencer.
Yeah,
Um,
right,
I've
right.
I've sort of decided that I'm calling her a social impresario. One of her friends said that when she had a party, she would call someone up and say, "Darling, I'm having a party tomorrow night, and it just wouldn't be complete without you." Absolutely not. So she had that ability to convene and to bring people together.
Any myths, misconceptions about Alelia Walker that you connected with the biography?
Sure. Well, there are a lot of people who love the Harlem Renaissance. It's such an exciting era. But really, until recent times, the women of the Harlem Renaissance have been really kind of overshadowed. And there's one, really well-known book about the Harlem Renaissance where the author, who's a really great scholar, but he concluded that Alelia Walker spent the entire 1920s playing bridge. So she did enjoy bridge and she enjoyed a good poker game, but she was doing a lot more than that. And so I really try to tell that story. And and I will say for those who saw Self-Made, which was, as we can only say, loosely inspired by my book On Her Own Ground, the character in the series is like 180 degrees different from the real person. So I'm really eager for people to see this charismatic woman who had such an impact on the environment in Harlem.